Welcome back to Good Global Vibes. I'm Marie McNeal. So this week we have part 4 of the marriage inquiry. And wow, has it been amazing. If you have not seen the other 3 parts, you want to go back and watch them, comment. Let us know anything that comes up for you. Share it with your friends. Thank you for subscribing. And this week, it's just going to be so incredible. We're going to end with a bang. These 5 couples whose marriages work, because you know Good Global Vibes is about shining the light on what works in the world, raising the vibration, and they fall nothing short of doing that. This week I'm asking them, how do you create your lives together in partnership? Like, what is it that you do that makes your marriage work? And I'm telling you, they got into detail. So you want to watch it to the end, share it with your friends, because we even have some good stuff coming up next week as well. Thanks for watching. Aloha. So the next question is, do you create your life together as a married couple? And what does that look like to create your life together?
At the end of every year, we go through 20 questions that complete the year for us. And then on the 1st or the 2nd of January, we create the year. We create our private goals individually. We create our goals with our children. We create our financial goals, our career goals, our health goals, our job goals inside of the businesses that we have. And then our family goals extended to our families in Jamaica and Ohio. Every single year that we've been together, we have debriefed at the end of the year where we hit it, where we missed it, what was new, what was unexpected, what worked, what didn't work, where we fell short, where we extended. The other thing that I will say, from day one, we committed from the very first day that we met that if we got married, we would take 2 or 3 weeks vacation alone to discover one another every single year. And we've done that.
It's consistently discovering each other and also standing for the other person in the face of their own internal no or their own internal issues, right? Said another way, the child within that doesn't feel they're good enough. And you standing on the outside of that saying, well, actually, you're amazing and you're extraordinary and you're having a difficult time seeing that because you're viewing it through this particular lens. And that's a two-way street with us. That's part of it. There's so much more.
Like Joe and Kamau, we have done every year at the end of the year debriefing and creating. The thing that's unique for us now is that we started creating quarterly intentions. And it's an intention that we speak to each other as a couple. And it's been remarkable just holding intentions about how we want to show up as couple. Because so much of our life has been about causing in the world, not as focused on couple. So we speak it to each other daily, and it's quarterly intentions that we create.
So I just have one last inquiry question for all of you beautiful couples. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with people who've been married and are having issues, or people who have never been married? Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I think that the secret to a powerful, thriving, growing marriage is both people working at the marriage, and that the work is totally worth it. Recognizing that you can learn from the other person, that by supporting the other person, you're building the relationship and the marriage, and letting down the guards that have you wanting initially, maybe when you're younger, to be the person who is saying what is important to you and doing what's important to you, and letting that go and putting it aside and just focus on the marriage and honor the other person and honor the other person's strengths. It kind of relates to a lot of the things that have been said, honoring their strengths and telling them, because they probably don't see it. All of that, when you work at the marriage together, that's when the marriage just keeps getting better and better.
we came into our marriage with specific requests and intentions of each other. And I told him point blank, do you want to win with me? And he said, yes. I said, here's what my needs are. I gave him 5 needs. And he said, that's easy. You're like giving me the answers to the quiz before we start the test. And I said, yes. He has fulfilled on those 5 promises every day for the entire time we've been together. So be really clear what your needs are. Be willing to listen. My great grandmother said to me, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should speak half of what you hear, and you should listen twice as much as you say. So like really listen. And then the last piece is that we did a course years ago called Transforming Yesterday's Strategies. In the course, what we learned and what's been really productive in our marriage is that everywhere in your marriage that you think you gave something up or you gave a compromise, the other person got a deal. And wherever they made a compromise to be with you, you got a deal. And if you can look at your deals and your compromises and put them all in the middle, I guarantee if you're right with the right person, you'll take every deal that you made. And we are really clear that we got a great deal.
What it came to me is like, marriage is a calling. You know, it's not a job. It's a partnership of a calling. And it's a calling of how to, maneuver, move around that, negotiate, standing for the other person. And, I always say, I don't have no pride when it comes to my husband. Because if I would have pride, he would have never got my contribution. And it's all about leaving this a space, in this world better than when we came from.
I would say to someone that's never been married or is married that a working marriage is a miracle. It truly is. And a choice that we make every single day. And that it's not about perfection, it's about connection. The relationship is what's most important. To say sorry first, no matter what. Just say sorry if there's an upset. I just always apologize. I always go to Damien and just apologize, and we move from there. And also that home should be a sanctuary. Home should be a safe place where we can come home to harmony and love and being accepted in all versions of ourselves. It's not going to be perfect, but it can be connected.
I'd like to acknowledge my wife for having me be on this Zoom video call, because I didn't really want to be on it. But knowing that I got to meet some new people today, it's just been an honor and a privilege. So thank you for your contribution. And thank you, Maria, for your contribution.
I'm really moved by everything that people have shared. This is the kind of thing that would have helped me tremendously in the early years of my marriage, because love is not enough. It's not enough to stay married. It's doing the work, and it's understanding we're not perfect. We make mistakes, even if we're different. I mean, there's so much wisdom here that I'm just like sucking it all up. It's just beautiful to hear people saying it. You can love someone so much, and then one morning go, what the hell have I done? And then 2 days later, it's like, oh my gosh, I love him so much. And that's real. That's life. That even though Steve and I we're so different in some ways and so similar in like fundamentally in what we believe is important, but that's not enough. So it's working through the hard things, and that everything in life that's hard is worth it. If it's good, like it's worth doing. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down. And if we're on the roller coaster together, we get off it together, as opposed to, being kind of separate, which I see in so many different couples. So I'm really privileged to be here.
You have to manage yourself first, because trying to manage somebody else doesn't work. If you have yourself managed, you won't have to manage anyone. You won't have to work all there is to do is just to be with the other person.
One of the things that Brooke has made clear for me is that there are three beings in our marriage. There's her, there's myself, and there's God. And that's the way we relate to each other, is that there is, you know, a higher realm for us to connect into with each other. For me, it's a little simpler from just a practical thing, because I also agree that there are three beings within a marriage. There's myself, there's my wife, my partner, and then there's the marriage itself. And the marriage is a separate, living, breathing entity. But it's very much, and from my perspective, and maybe because it's, you know, the toddler in me, but it's like a toddler. And what I mean by that is that you can't let the marriage wander around in traffic by itself. You know, it's not going to go well. Just like we can't let our children wander around in the streets by themselves. It's not going to go well. So there's a need for a constant attention, love, compassion, and understanding to this third being, which is the marriage itself. There's this trifecta, there's this union. And that's what I think is, you know, really important to remember. And that's what many people have been speaking to, that it's no longer about you individually, even though, as, you know, several people, including Brooke, have pointed out, that you must, you know, nurture yourself first so that you can bring yourself to it, so that you can actually be of service to this other living, breathing being, which is this marriage, this sacred union. But I, for one, am clear that the deep resonance I feel in life, regardless of what life is throwing at me from a circumstantial point of view, is based inside our marriage. But I have this deep knowing that I'm held in a sacred way that I never had when I was in my dating and or single life. I think the part that's really important, if you're either thinking about getting married or you are married, is to really genuinely, deeply like the person you're with. And if there's something in the way of that, love will develop, whether it's instant or whether it comes deeply over time. It's like, I like my wife. Like, I think she is the coolest lady I have ever met. And I'm consistently in awe that she's willing to hang out with me.
I don't know if this is the secret sauce or just something that I really love about our marriage, is that we have a blast together. We laugh our heads off, we dance, we sing. We just came down here on a motorcycle. Like, we ride the motorcycle together. Like, we genuinely have fun.
I just want to thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for the contribution you made today, for you taking your time and wherever you are in the world. Thank you, everyone. Okay, was that incredible or what? I can't get enough of these 5 couples. I love hearing what they have to say, because I know that it's going to make a contribution to so many people. Thank you for subscribing and watching each week. And make sure you come back next week, because you know why? Next week, we're going to be talking about the Aloha state and what works and raising the vibration, because you know that's what we're all about. And don't feel shy to leave us a comment and say, hey, you do this, I want to hear about this, or I want to hear about that. We're so open to hearing your feedback. So make sure you comment right below here on YouTube and subscribe, and we love you. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.